This is rare. An area of the country that hasn't seen tornadoes in years could see a mini outbreak. And after that, we've got yet another severe weather outbreak possible this weekend. We'll have rain, snow, tornadoes, and damaging winds. We'll cover all that and more in your forecast starting now. Welcome everyone to another forecast video. If you guys remember the last video, I talked about that ridge of high pressure that's going to keep things relatively calm, and check it out. We've got basically no warnings across the entire United States, except for some of these red flag warnings in the Appalachian Mountains. Got some dense fog advisories here right along the coast in Texas and Florida. And then we've got some high wind watches and warnings out here right along the Sierra Nevadas. But that's pretty much it. Now that could change this afternoon and evening as a severe weather outbreak, possibly a couple tornadoes, could hit a place that hasn't seen it in a long time. And that place is ding, 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 the Pacific Northwest. What? Are you kidding me? Where they've got a slight risk for some strong storms today, Wednesday, March 26th. Can any of you remember the last time there was a slight risk in Oregon and Washington? This part of the country is not used to getting severe weather. Now, zooming in on our risk here, that slight risk includes the cities of Seattle, Tacoma, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Salem, even Eugene, Oregon as well. So for those in the Pacific Northwest who may never have seen this graphic before, it just basically is like a 2 out of 5 alert level. Now, here's why we're so concerned. Check it out. We've got this 5% risk of tornadoes today. And that basically means you've got a 5% chance of seeing a tornado within a 25-mile radius of where you are, which is crazy for this part of the country. We normally don't see these kind of risks out here. You normally get those on the plains in Texas in the heart of severe weather season. Seattle, you're even in that 2% risk, so Seattle could get a tornado as well. All right, so let's go ahead and time this out. We're going to start here at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Nothing's really going on, but watch as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. I'm going to pause it here right around 7, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's when things really get going here. That's where we could have actually a couple of supercells. That's right, I said it. Supercells, which are the strongest kind of storm you can have. Those will form and push to the north and east, and then Seattle by about 10, 11 o'clock p.m. That's when storms will roll through your area. And as we approach 9 p.m. Central, midnight, those storms are going to continue moving off to the north and east. As we go into the overnight hours, they'll generally weaken. The tornado threat will decrease. So from about 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, to about midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, that's your main window of concern. So this is the helicity tracks, and check this out, guys. Watch as we go throughout the evening. Each one of these streaks here, that is actually a rotating storm that could drop a tornado in theory. These kind of helicity tracks are stuff we normally get during like tornado outbreaks in Missouri. We had a bunch of these last week. So this is pretty wild to see up here in Oregon and Washington. Okay, so we took a look at that risk today. Let's take a look at the severe weather risks for this weekend and beyond. So after our storm system moves on the Pacific Northwest, things are relatively quiet for the back half of the week. Notice Thursday and Friday, we've got this ridge of high pressure that's still in place. That'll keep things relatively calm for a good part of the country. But then going into Saturday and Sunday, this is where things change in a big way. This is the 500 millibar level. I'm going to pause it right there. That is what we call a short wave, and that could be a catalyst for some severe weather. Now, I'm looking right now. This doesn't look particularly strong. So if we do want a widespread severe weather outbreak, this has got to trend stronger and stronger, which it could. We've seen it do it in the past. But that's our catalyst for severe weather on Sunday. And then going into Monday, we've got a bigger trough that digs down in the southeast, and that's why we could get some severe weather here along the East Coast on Monday night into Tuesday morning. All right, so let's look at the surface here. Who's going to get rain? Who's going to get snow? Who's going to get in on that severe weather action? Let's check it out. During the day, Wednesday, really not a lot going on. Maybe some rain down in Texas. Thursday, once again, more rain down in Texas, where from, say, Dallas into the south in Houston and Austin, flooding could actually be a pretty big concern. And once again, the Pacific Northwest is getting hammered by storm after storm. That'll continue all this week. Plenty of rain and snow out there. But like we talked about, for a good chunk of the country on Thursday, Friday, into Saturday, it should be relatively calm and quiet for many. You'll notice this snow stays primarily to the north in Canada. Maybe works its way into northern Maine and Vermont, New Hampshire. But Saturday is just a precursor. Notice how we've got some rain moving through the Ohio Valley. We could get a couple of rumbles of thunder here, but that is not our severe weather outbreak. That will instead come on Sunday. Check it out. I'm going to pause it here. Sunday evening, right there. We'll have a 997 low, so not really strong, but we will have a cold front here, right in there where I'm drawing it. And that will be our initiator for some thunderstorms, some strong to severe thunderstorms. Now that cold front will continue pushing to the east on Monday, and we could get another round of severe weather right there. Monday afternoon into Monday evening, right along the coast. So going into next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, another storm system right there takes shape. We'll have another front there. We could get some severe weather along that. Really, the first week of April is gonna be active. Okay, so let's take a look. The Storm Prediction Center has highlighted this area. This is a day 5 risk. And this is an incredibly large day 5 risk, so we're gonna have to watch this. I think this area will shrink over time. More details are gonna come, but no Sunday. All hazards from tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds are all possible. We'll have to watch the trends very carefully, and we should have a pretty good idea about Friday or Saturday what this event is actually gonna look like, but know the potential is there for some very strong storms. And then as we go into Monday, the Storm Prediction Center has also outlined this area as that cold front slides off to the east. We could get severe weather from Washington, D.C. all the way down to New Orleans, Louisiana, and everywhere in between. So heads up. All right, so now for the rain and snow. Who's going to get the most rain during the week? Ding, ding, ding. The big winner will be Texas, where they could get several inches of rain, and flooding is going to be a big time concern. Now, another area that will receive a lot of rain is the Tennessee and Ohio valleys here, as this parade of low pressures moves through the country and brings with it all of that Gulf moisture and all of that precipitation. And this is normal for places like Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky. You guys are used to seeing a lot of rain, but there could be some severe storms with it as well. I have to watch that very carefully. On the northern side of these storm systems, we could get rain, we could get snow, we could get a mix. We're not going to be talking about feet of snow, but you could get a couple of good snow events here or there with some ice mixed in, and it's never fun. All right, so let's take a look at temperatures here. 8 to 14 day, the first week of April is going to be well above average for a lot of the country, basically from Florida all the way up to the Dakotas. The only area that will be below average here is the Pacific Northwest. That's some cold rain in store. And Alaska. That just sounds cold. And then the 8 to 14 day precipitation, the first week of April looks to be pretty wet here for the Ohio Valley and Northeast, just like we had said, as well out here in the West, with Florida still not getting a lot of rain. I'm actually down here right now, and it's been over 2 weeks since I've seen a raindrop. Don't worry, I'm coming back to Ohio though, where it will probably be rainy, cloudy, and miserable. Woohoo! All right, guys, well, that about does it for today. And before you go, guys, I just want to remind you, we are going to have a podcast tonight. We're going to talk with Jordan Hall and Dan Williams. We're going to be talking about that storm chasing bill that just passed the House of Representatives. And that could make storm chasing more difficult. That could allow certain folks to get special privileges when they storm chase. We're going to be examining that on the podcast tonight. For all of our Patreon members, make sure you join our Patreon team to get access to the live stream. Also, just want to thank everyone for being here. All of you are wonderful people. Make sure you smash that like button and smash that subscribe button. All right, well, that about does it here for today. Thank you once again for joining me. Each and every one of you are awesome. And as always, find someone, tell them you love them. Do something nice for someone today, guys. So many people are hurting. So many people just need a little bit of love. So do something nice for someone today. I mean it. Do it now. Lastly, guys, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. Oh, yeah. This is Stormcat 5, and I'll see you on the next one.